Fantasy Philosophers is brought to you by fantasy-info.com.
Ricky Williams really had himself one heck of a season last year as he went over double-digit touchdowns, 1,100 yards rushing, and I believe, about a 4.8 yard per carry average, something like that I want to say that he had. He was just fabulous for the Dolphins, especially he was really good with Ronnie Brown, but when Ronnie Brown went down, he proved that he could be the feature guy for them and really get it done. For a guy that was 32 years old, that was one heck of a thing to say to have that kind of a season. Yeah, remember, there's been some years in there where he hasn't been banged around and maybe hasn't even played in the league, so He hasn't taken a lot of punishment through his later 20s like a lot of guys do, so it's not unreasonable to see that, hey, if he was fresh and healthy, maybe he could get some things done. The Dolphins have a very solid offensive line, and that definitely helped contribute to his success overall. But really right now with Ricky, it looks like Ronnie Brown is bouncing back okay from the foot injury. Looks like he's probably going to be fine and probably the team starter to begin the season. So Ricky's going to be the backup. That's not a bad thing. I think it's mandatory if you have Ronnie. You really need to have Ricky on your team. You don't want to be in a situation like some fantasy owners were last year that had Ronnie and were having success and somebody else nabbed up Ricky Williams behind their back. And really, Ricky, you were dying if you didn't have Ronnie Brown. You were wishing you had Ricky Williams on your team. Keep those things in mind. With Ronnie, we know that he can't stay healthy, so we got to figure at some point Ricky's probably going to get the opportunity to be the starter again as we get deeper into the season. So this is definitely something we need to keep in mind. He's definitely worth stashing away on your team because with this kind of structure around him and the skill that he still has, he can be a very productive player for your team as we get into the back half of the season.
For more fantasy football information, go to fantasy-info.com and sign up for our free e-newsletter. Good luck in your 2010 Fantasy Football League. As an added bonus, the Fantasy Info guys will include their 5 secret tips for success in fantasy football.